my great pleasure to welcome James Jones. He is the former ambassador of the United States to the country of Mexico. He is currently the chairman of Mannatt Jones Company, and he is the former CEO of American Stock Exchange. It's a pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you.
Ambassador Jones, you bring a very good perspective as an ambassador, and now involved in global corporations of spreading entrepreneurship as an initiative of U.S. State Department. What are your take on it?
Well, actually, my interest developed when I was a member of Congress for 14 years, and we were looking at the competitiveness of the United States, the view of the United States in the world. And one of the things I discovered, and this also was true when I was ambassador, was in most of the countries we deal with that are important to the United States, you have a handful of old families who've been controlling the wealth for a long, long time. And where you produce the opportunity for others who are not in that control group to start companies, to produce additional wealth, you also produce very strong good feelings for the United States and for the opportunities we have and for the opportunities we stand for. And so I think that what is being talked about at this conference today, for example, is very important. And what was very interesting to me was to see the number of successful entrepreneurs from Latin America, from Asia, from the Middle East, who have a very different perspective about the United States than we're accustomed to reading about in some of the newspapers. It's very important to our foreign policy.
You know, and I've asked this many times today, and I should ask you, because as a diplomat you face this quite often, is to hold up the repute and image of US in whichever country you're serving in. And there's no better country in the world than America to spread capitalism. But it has taken a beating, especially in the current economic scenario. Do we impose this current crop of capitalism, which is entrepreneurship?
No. I don't think the United States should go around the world imposing anything. We should not go around the world preaching how other people should run their business, how they should run their lives. What I think we should do is go around the world and help create opportunities for people to have a better life. When I went to Mexico, I had 6 objectives that I wanted to accomplish as ambassador for the United States. The very first one was to create more commerce, more business relationships between our two countries, because our history has been a very checkered one. The Mexicans, until a few years ago, basically taught in their textbooks that we stole half of their country from the Mexican-American War, and that has colored our relationship. So by putting commerce number 1 and helping to pass NAFTA and implement NAFTA, what that has done is to cement very solid relationships between our two countries, whereas Mexico now is our 2nd largest market of any in the world, where we export U.S. goods and services, and where the United States is the first market for Mexico's goods and services. And in addition, what this opening of economic opportunities has done is to increase by almost 4 times the per capita income of Mexicans. And since they already buy most of the U.S. goods and services, that means more Mexicans have the wherewithal to buy our goods and services. So not only is it good diplomacy and creates stronger ties between our two countries, it's good economics. We're able to sell more of our goods and services to a population in Mexico that has more money to buy from us.
I want to build on that thought. We want to reiterate that this is not another attempt by US to spread quote-unquote imperialism. There are countries who benefit tremendously because of trade and entrepreneurship. South America, you can take Brazil. In Asia, take India and China. Okay? And Eastern Europe. So countries who were not part of the culture before have now actually benefited tremendously because of this. So we are taking another initiative to move this forward, which is entrepreneurship. But like you said before, in some countries where entrepreneurship traditionally is run by huge families, and the ordinary Joe does not have access to capital or resources, and we want to change those dynamics because we have learned it, implemented it so well in Silicon Valley. If this becomes a policy, which we are wishing to, how do you think we can be careful and but at the same time implement this in such cultures?
Well, to me, the cornerstone of our foreign policy with countries all over the world should be to help those who do not benefit from free market economics, who do not benefit from democracy, to become a part of the system and to be able to benefit from that. And so I don't think that we necessarily preach free market economics or that we preach that entrepreneurship, but what we preach is education and the value of education and infrastructure development to being able to let more and more people who are currently in poverty become entrepreneurs and become a part of the system. I think that if an economic model allows more people to gain wealth, then they have something they want to defend. Then they have something that they want to blend with the rest of the world. And I think that basically reduces the threat of wars. It's the people who have a hopeless future that can cause trouble. And so I just think that's good diplomacy.
Ambassador Jones, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Share your thoughts. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.